Keita kandi uri mudumuzi w'ishomero rya Uganda Military Academy Kabamba. Ushinzwe idara rya Brigadier n'idara rya kana omadara agokuratana omwihe rya UPDF kandi Brigadier nobori General wa star emwe ubwo rukuburayo star 3 kwasakwa no hinduka General Mbutongore kandi bamwe abasakwa bahebwa idara rya kano baramupita rusherure ogogo birari military atachi awa Uganda Police Force mnonga obwire obu Edward Kare Kaihura General yari omudumuzi wa police abandi baramu Justus Kambale Musenene Joseph Mugira Wasibi Israel Kahelu Bagenda Haman Waswa Mukasa Patrick Opila Richard Butunji John Mango Baraza James Muhumza Robert Kochi Rukonge Victor Busobozi Francis Makoma Eliasoni Kugumisiriza Peterson Rusherure Saul Bishuba na Bimanya Corin Zainomjisha George Jet Turiabe hamwe na Lydia Nandutu bamwe ombaseka wasakwa mbonje bwa madara n'abatwire mbarwana n'abahekera mu ihangire ya Democratic Republic of Congo aho Uganda erone Rwanda sabahekera aba ADF kugeza kwasakwa ne babinga omukizinga cha East Africa aba Gntv Agarikwotsya atkunda Matthias.
Twagumizamo omugambirizi w'amahega UPDF ogwengu Brigadier General Felix Kulaija yarigwe yashaba abanya-Uganda okundi hangari yabo kandi ebiyagira ngo nibije kuba nikibayamba no koreka ebikorwa birunje biraretera ihangari ya Uganda ryatunguke byona yabigamba bwanyuma yo kuvuganaho abanyamakuru batari bamwe na bamwe.
I want to tell you we are Ugandans in mouth, not at heart. And this is for this desk here. Ugandans are not to blame for not being Ugandans. The word Uganda is a foreign construct. We are Baganda, Banyankore, Acholi, Karamajongs. And until you introduce a national service so that people can be told how to be Ugandan and why they are Ugandan, you're wasting your time. So they cannot drive the country they don't understand. Otherwise, how do you explain 21st century somebody chooses an in-law because he's of a different language? 21st century. But they accept a Muzungu to marry one of their own. But a fellow Ugandan, because they're a different tribe, they will refuse. So that explains it to you. It's about mindset. I was one morning listening to a radio station, and the owner of the radio station with another person were the ones discussing. And the owner of that radio station said, there is nothing to laugh about Uganda. It's a media owner. Fortunately, I knew their number. I called in. I said, I don't agree with you. For starters, Uganda is the most beautiful country in the world. Number two, Ugandans are the most hospitable people you will find in the world. It's the only part you go to, you ask a person direction, he or she abandons what they are doing and directs you. Three, the weather. He has just talked about it. Actually, in Mbuya it was raining as it was shining. So beautiful. You can't find it anywhere. This is the only country you can sleep on the veranda up to morning. Try that one in New York. So, it's about mindset. Two, now this is for us, government communicators. Who knows what you are doing? Who knows? And I have gotten reports. Some of us don't actually pick phone calls from the media. They don't. Number two, back to permanent secretaries. Madam PSCs, I request to send you to your colleagues because you have tied the hands of my colleagues. You have appointed somebody as a communicator, but you don't allow them to communicate. So why are they there? I am glad my minister allows me to communicate. But anyway, how can you contain me? You give me a job, I do it. If you don't tell me to do it, I throw it back to you. Because for me, a job must be done. Now, Simon talked about budget. When my new minister was appointed a minister, he asked me how much I use. When I told him 5 million, he said, dollars? I said, no, sir, Uganda shillings. Then he said, how do you manage? I said, my size does it all. Because I'm everywhere. I think you can bear me witness. I'm everywhere. Meaning I sleep less. Meaning my family has me less. Thanks to my government, which doesn't want to spend on communication. But we all know the lines of power: dime, diplomacy, information, military, and economy. Now you have your blessed parliament which thinks spending on the military is wasting money. It's part of tools of power, instruments of power. You have a government which thinks spending on information is wastage of money. It is one of the instruments of power. Do we understand what we want?
abari kurenga 135 nibo bakwasirwe kandi bakagarwa mu mahanga gabo bwanyuma y'ekikwekweto ekiriyo nikikorwa mu ihanga ry'itu rya Uganda kandi kirukorwa Ministry y'enshonga z'omunda orukugwa ombigere by'omugambirizi wa Ministry y'enshonga z'omunda orukumanywa nka Arthera Nachiwala yargayo yahamya amakuru aga kandi yashaba babona abari mu ihanga batine biruku bagambo ningo muringo gubatahiremu okwehayo kare bakabasa kubona babagarayo bintu bitakashobere ninga bakahendera omunkomo katubirebe.
The first thing is last weekend we carried out operations on illegal foreigners in the country around the areas of Kabalagala, Kansanga, Muyenga, Gaba, and in Kampala. And among that, 135 suspects were apprehended, and 200 foreign nationals were verified, and they were found that they have legal immigration facilities. The arrested ones, however, are in custody and will be taken to court, and relevant penalties will be given. These include fines, imprisonment, deportations, among others. The subjects that were arrested include Eritreans, Ethiopians, South Sudanese, Somalis, Congolese, and Chinese nationals. The Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control is mandated and continues to carry out operations on illegal immigrants. We carry out these operations on a daily basis as we strive to ensure orderly and legal migration in Uganda. We urge all foreign nationals to ensure that they get relevant immigration facilities in accordance to what they are doing in the country. These include work permits for those that are employed and those that are investors into the country, student passes for those that come for purposes of study, dependent passes, the spouses, the children of foreign nationals, special passes for those on short-term employment, which is not exceeding 3 months, and there's also the intern and research pass for those that have come for internship and research purposes into the country. All these facilities can be applied for on www.visas.immigration.go.ug. It must be also noted that a tourist visa is strictly for tourism purposes and not work. It is also included in the sticker. When you check the immigration, the stick of the visa, there's also work prohibited on it. All work, whether voluntary or otherwise, has to have a specific work permit for it, and thus anybody involved in any type must have a work permit to explain. We also thank the whistleblowers for bringing the attention to us, and thus it also helps us to keep the country in order in terms of immigration facilities. The other point is Ugandans who applied for visas to the Saudi Arabian embassy and did not pick them should actually come to should come to Public Relations Office at the headquarters and pick them. There are over 100 passports that were returned back by the Saudi Arabian embassy because these people applied but did not pick their passports. So if you know you went and applied for your visa and did not pick your passport, please come by and pick it. It shall be given to you. Earlier on, we had talked about labor companies retaining people's passports. This is actually wrong, and it's against the law. Labor companies are not supposed to hold these people's passports. However, there are still those companies that are still holding people's passports. This is not acceptable, and we shall take it up to the law. That is all. Mwasuze mutya nno bannange. Amannya gange nze Nakiwala Arithia, Senior Immigration Officer, era nze amyuka omwogezi w'ekitongole eky'ensonga z'omunda. Bye tubadde nabyo mu wiiki eno, twakola ekikwekweto mu bifo bya Kabalagala, Kansanga, Muyenga, Gaba, era ne tufuna abantu 135 abatalina bisaanizo bya kukola n'okusoma naye nga bali eyo nabo batudde, era abo ne tubakwata ne tubateeka mu custody. Ebibiri bye twafuna mu abo bo balina ebisaanizo ebibakwatako nga bibakkiriza okukola n'okusoma n'ebirala byonna. Mu abo be twakwata bajja twalibwa mu mbuga z'amateeka, bajja kusibwa oba okuzzaayo ewaabwe. Then mu abo be twakwata mwalimu aba Eritrean, mwalimu ba Ethiopians, mwalimu ba South Sudanese, mwalimu aba Somali, mwalimu aba Congolese n'aba China. Ekitongole ekya passport n'okugaba obutuuze kikkirizibwa okunoonyereza kw'abo abatagoberera amateeka ga immigration.
Weho makuru ngoga maga kushana naga wanyuma y'ebikwekweto ebikozirweho mu ihanga erya Uganda. Simon Peter Mudyeri ogun'omugambirizi wa Ministry y'enshonga z'omunda yarigwe yashaba empungi nabo bonna barikurwa omu mahanga gaheru okutunga ekipapuro eky'okubikiriza okorra omu ihanga rya Uganda ninga ekipingi bakumanya nka work permit. Mukitari ekyo nibija kuba nibabingwa nibagaruka omu mahanga gaabo. Katubirebe.
Okurugerera aha mugambirizi wa Ministry w'enshonga z'omunda y'ihanga ow'ekitinisa Simon Peter Mudyeri nagira ngu empungi n'abandi bantu kuza kukorra omu ihanga erya Uganda biine kuba biine akakongi akarikubikiriza kete work permit, nikwo kushaba omuntu weena oine ekiteekateeko ky'okukorra omu ihanga eri aza atari munya-Uganda kukora ekirikubaasika kyona akabaasa kuba nahikyerera abakuru kuruga omu Ministry y'enshonga z'omu ihanga rya Uganda akabaasa kuba natunga akakongi aka kakamwikiriza kukorra omu ihanga eri.
I was here when I talked about refugees applying for work permit in order to allow them to carry out their work. Citizenship and Immigration Control Act, that is CAP 313, and of course related statutory instruments, they require foreigners to obtain work permits. If you're a refugee and you are living in Uganda, you want to engage in work, don't just walk to a place and start asking for employment. I've been seeing and hearing adverts on some radio stations to the effect that if you are a refugee, just get a recommendation from LC and you'll get a job. Some radio stations have been publishing this information, but that is not true. They are misleading refugees. Refugee, you get national ID from Office of Prime Minister. That's the first requirement. After that, you come and apply for a passport. There's a passport specifically made for refugees. After getting a passport, you now have to apply online for work permit. Work permit is given free of charge for refugees because we know refugees don't have money. So we made sure that this service is offered at fee nil. So you apply and get this work permit, and you're able to move around and get a job. If you are caught working without a work permit, you'll be inconvenienced. You'll be arrested and, of course, punished. So it is my humble appeal, especially to the radio stations that are saturating that false information to the refugees, to first check what the law says. The law says if you're a refugee, for you to be able to do work, you must first of all register as a refugee, and then on top of that, also be able to acquire a work permit, which does not cost a shilling at all.
Munday nagirangu bagerezeho kubasa kuba bashomesa abantu okuba kubasa kuba nibakora ekintu eki ningasho kwakwasa kuba batunga kakonji okoro mwihangeri nagirangu itekana ribikiriza okwata buri muntu wena orukuturo mwihangeri ningakora mu mbenda biragiro kwasa kuba bamukwata bakamutwara umbugaza amateka munacabana cyasika bakamugarra umunsiyo wabo.
Did carried out a sensitization. Of course, in light of the mass enrollment and mass renewal of national IDs by NIRA, we had to sensitize people. Who is a citizen of Uganda, for instance? And we all know that there have been some complaints here and there, especially by certain communities, alleging that they get problems when they seek for services of passports at the ministry. So in light of this, and due to the requirement of mass enrollment that is coming up, we need to continue sensitizing these people, especially if you know one of your parents or both of your parents are not Ugandans. Those are the ones who have issues. We have issues with people who were born in Uganda, they were born here to parents that are not Ugandans. The law does not recognize those as citizens of Uganda. So all we have to do is come to our office, because the requirements are a bit bulky. We shall tell you what to do, and we shall naturalize or register you as a citizen of Uganda, and you'll be able to access those services. And lastly,
Gntv Agarikwotsya atkunda Matthias.
Twazo mushenjero yitu ya Uganda enshonga zo kubenga ba commissioner umwishenjero zichonjire kuguma bwanyuma y'emikono okwanga kuhikebire netengwa okwandikwa kugira ngo bikirize babase kubana babiyamo bwesije kandi okurugirira aha muticho mwishenjero aha bwa Kalungu West rukumanyanka Joseph Sewungu agira ngo abanyishenjero habekimine cya NRM DP nangwa na NUP abinji banjire okusayininga ngo cyochere tire emikono yayanga kuyikana habwecho enshongejo ne basotagumza mu misho katubirebe
amakubo gonna agagendo tusamu kutwala motion amanyi abamawule ekinino kanchogere bwenti nze katugeze nina omukazi agamba namufunisa olubuto nze negana remedy eriruddawa mu mateeka babu mbaluya anse erimu tugetukebera omukazi walubuto alukola ki aluyina bataluina nze ndejerere nze neganye omukazi agamba aluyina oba ntegereka kati tugamba nti bwogamba sitwakuwa twakuwa tuyingire wali okakase omukazi we talina lubuto lwange ye omukazi agamba oluyina ansa eriye mugenda wa dokita dukola ki dokita wa parliament ye house eyo kati kyetugenda okuvaayo gye tulaga tujja kudda wano tuyite civil society organizations tuyite abantu betukubidde amasimu bali bweru abo buli wetuyita mu kkubo olaba n'entambula wano wonna bwe tugenda nesekikubo baga tusitula twabadde ekasanda ensi yonna netutula ne batuwa emmere ennaanaasi ne tujja nga tweyagala eka bali mu kulya kati tugenda bayita wano tujjuze ensonga yaabwe tubabulire wano wetutuuse n'amagezi mumanyi Law Society kyeyawandiika si ekyo sebo then lastly I was a whip of DP. In the DP there is only one member, Honorable Tamaguzi, who signed. And the DP is coming from a very deadly area. Very deadly. So and their leadership is willing. So we continue. When they come here, they say, we want a special pen. We shall be the last ones to sign. Just ping pong all the time. But all the same, the population that voted them must put them under duress to respond. I think I've answered it. We are saying something. Ate bibasinga okusiiba wano batya bagamba mbu bebajja okusembayo tebayagala kusooka ate bagamba neffe kyetumanyi tubalinze kubanga bonna njogera nabo ku radio babeerako mwayisa twayisa peegi ki gye twayisaako bonna nga badduka kyemba mumanya tewali kiwandiiko kikwatagana ku motion eno kyetutayina n'abagezaako kiyiyayiya tubamanyi we bayiya tumanyiwo tulinawo ojja kuwulira embaga actually group ezo bbiri kaaga twabadde kitovu mu misa mwademu omubaka wa DP ne mukoonako ne gye baatugabudde emmere yadduse teyalabiseeko yavudde mu kereziya n'ateekako naye omulimu gw'okunoonya emikono mbadde nehonawo sekikuwona ebbanga ddene si mwangu mu palamenti y'omwenda nga mubaka munaffe atiddwa ne banda twanoonya emikono nga waliwo minisita ababaka basibira mu nyumba emukono awo nga basibiramu ne basibamu kuva ku makya babanona wakasa wa 10 ne basiibye omwo ne babawayo emitwalo 2 ekiro ne babazaayo lumu twanoonya omubaka mukama waffe wano musaako twamunoonya ewuwe n'abuuka ekikomera kye ekikye kyeyezimbira bepu ne tukikuba mu mawulire ku CBS ne ku radio omusajja n'agamba munkubye ennyo bandi bubye wange muleete n'aleete n'asayininga kati ababaka ego twabadde kasanda omubaka yadduse lwamaze yekwese wansi wa honorable minister n'abakooba nga bamaze okwogera n'ateekayo ne mugoba ne mugaa ssebo gyangu masiki n'akakofiira ku mutwe ensonga eri wano lino giddene lisinga erya maayo obunene eno emmeeza kati si malala si katemba kati tugende mu West Nile tewali radio kwe tubadde ne twogera ne tutafuna feedback abantu bonna nga basiima naye ekintu ekirungi omuganda agambe enkima gyekoma okulinnya omuti gyekoma okulaga obwanaaka bwayo obwerere bwayo omubalabe babadde wano waliwo omubaka wano ayagamba mumpe peeni kijje mba signings muntegekedde peeni ayagala tugende mu factory tukole peeni eyiye ey'okusayininga nomubuuza bwe wali olayira wali oath of allegiance ne mu parliament leaders fe abazze discharge the duty of government and what musala gisoma mu parliament tajimanyi na gisoma ali awo alinze tumwegayirire nkiddingana eno first time gyendaba ababaka b'opposition nga batya okusayininga sikirabangako naye ffe katukole ogwaffe kubanga gye tulaga twogera n'abantu ate ababaka balowooza byakusaaga abantu babategedde awo ku road block bajja kubuuza Sewungu ne Sekikubo ne Honorable bwe baleeta emmeeza wasayininga mukazi wange yaŋŋaana kubanga alina oluganda n'egundi gwe tojja kulya kyaggulo wa Katonda debbali bogoye bakuwa okusayininga nti jangu olye ne Katonda ng'owangula akaluluko ng'okajjayo.
Twagumizamu abanyeshengero abakwatirwe emishango y'obushimanguzi abarimu Honorable Mike Mawanda babasa kuba nibasindikwa ruzira okwisia ebiro 18 eby'okwezi kwa mushanju omwaka gw'E2024 kandi bayimwa okwemererwa aha kakaru ka kooti akubingi barikumanywa nka bail baba bebembirwe omuramuzi orikumanywa nka Akilo Jewani.
Ubwo mwihanga rya Uganda turiyo turwanisa oburibwe nguzi kandi hamwe n'obushumankuzi obwe mukuru w'ihanga rya Uganda akaryatekaho ikiragiro kandi yaragira umunyishengero wena hamwe nabo abantu bamani omwihanga arategatekweho kandi yahamba kujyangwa kwatiye n'oburibwe nguzi arigiyatwarwe omuchome abuzibwe kana na katano bamusharemu bamanyicho kumukora nishiha wenu hakargayo abanyishengero batano bakwatwa abarho Mike Mawanda uno mnyishengero wishaja area igara isti kandi gunomwe ombakuru abeki sinde cha PRU ekine kisinde cha muhozi kinerugaba ekikujangu kiryo nikirwanira abantu okunda ihanga ryabo abarumna Ignatius wa Makuyu mudimi uno mnyishengero wishaja area Ergoni Honorable Paulo Akamba uno mnyishengero wa Buseke County kandi abanyishengero aba barjeyo batwarwa omukoti ahansi yo muramuzi Jowani Akiro kandi aba barukwenda ngo barekure akakonji ka koti okete bail
and all other accused persons deferred their right to apply for bail for the reasons they gave. Counsel for all the accused persons have now had adequate time to consult with the accused persons, and we all have instructions to apply for bail today. However, because we have just seen the accused persons in the dock,
aba barjiyo kandi bashaba okugira ngo babongereyo akandi kire okugira ngo bakakora okuchondoza okugira ngo bakagenda bakora okuchondoza okurukumara babona kugaruka omukoti.
it's a warm prayer that this matter be stood over for about 30 minutes so that we do last minute consultation and arrange our sureties. We so pray, and I'm making this prayer on behalf of all counsel for the 5 accused persons.
Omuramuzi Jowani Akiro barjeyo kandi bamushomera amazina agabanyishengera aba abaryomba shaba okurekurwa akakonji ka koti.
Worship the applicant before you, Honorable Wamakuyu Ignatius Mudimi, 54 years of age. Worship is a member of parliament representing the people of Elgon County, that is in Bulambuli district, Eastern Uganda. He has been gracious, Your Worship, to serve in that position since 2006. Before court, he has provided his identification of work.
Boba pleada babanyishengera aba bembirwe Adrien Yasingwire bagiye bashaba koti kugira ngo babongere obwire obukumara bagende barundane obuzurizi bwabo kandi na nebindi bihandiko ebikwenda kubahozaho kugira ngo bazagaruka bebine obuzurizi hamwe na no kwehozaho okurukumara.
This is also in line with the rules of this court, the High Court Anti-Corruption Division Case Management Rules of 2021, Rule 7, which we are sure we cannot comfortably say we have done all the background checks, and we are sure, given the short time we have received these documents in court, which the same applies to the need to fulfill the Rule 7 of this Honorable Court, where we are supposed to be able to confirm to court about the requirements in application for bail. Your Worship, additionally, I'm about to conclude, I know. In the case of Nabisuri Erina, in the criminal application number 29, that is of 2024, Nabisu, it's an application. Nabisuri Erina and 3 others versus Uganda are consolidated criminal applications number 29, 30, 31, 32 of 2024. It was stated that it's a consolidated, they are consolidated applications number 29, 30, 31, and 32 of 2024. That is by High Court's Anti-Corruption Division.
Omuramuzi Akiro agiye kandi yongerayo umushango ogu okugira ngo arike okurwa 2018 ebikwezo kwa mushanzu umwaka nigwe gumwe ogw'2024.
Justice Gidudu stated that it is the duty of the state to verify the authenticity of documents. It is the reason they are served on the state with the application so that they can use the state machinery to cross-check with the issuing institutions to confirm if the documents are true or not. In the premises, Your Worship, as officers of court, we find it appropriate and prudent to pray for time, verify, to study the application, verify the documents, and accurately respond to the application.
Ahabwa Gntv Agarikwotsya Ndikirintoni nabo mjomba.
Abebembezi okuruga omukibine kya Neema babugana abatura ba Rubiji kandi babashaba okuguma nibagura amataka gataro mbishara kwenda kwetantara okushenywa makagabo nangwa n'okuteganisibwa ombiro bya nyensya katurebe uko byagenda.
Okuruga obw'ekitongole kiri kuzunanizibwa by'obuhangwa bw'ensi ekya National Environmental Management Authority ekyabingi bari kumanya nka NEMA kitandikaho okushenyagura amazu hamwe n'ebyombeko by'abantu okuruga omu Rubiji bari kugira ngo bakombeka omukishara kandi n'abandi tibinerusa okuruga mu government okugira ngo ashimye kwani bombekaho abatura bo mu kyaro ekyo okwetora mu district yona ya Wakiso bakargiyo kandi batanka kwetera umuranga ari kugira ngo government yagiye mazima yabayambe wenu abatura bagiyeyo batandikaho gundi muranga bari kugira ngo government keba binjire mu bishara ngo kandi ketari kwikiza abantu kusisha obahangwa bwensi bari kugira ngo hariho abandi bantu abari kwizane bahandiko bari kugira ngo bo bahirwe orusakurwa mu government ngo bombekeho ombyaro ebyo nabandi abafutimba omushenyi omnyanja bari kugira ngo binurusha
ze mutiya okukumento bazi ngara kubaka dolabento bazo nonzi mu kuba manene ngara tulabanga investor baziyemu akaninga ati wali wefiri kalo bade basoro mukoze mutyo okubalwanyisa okulaba nga tebadda mugolona tobali esobola okugaba family ng'eyona obutonde bwansi esobola kikibuuziza esawa zino batugambye ennyanja zonna za gavumenti gavumenti etunula wanga abantu basima omusenyu mu nnyanja baba tebayina obutonde bwansi
omukulu gyoga nti gavumenti
yes
iyo nono obutonde bwensi
egaba permit ezo nono obutonde bwensi ng'ate ebintu byayo
kubanga omanyala banyo okuddamu ebintu mu ngeri eri simple
kweno g'abakuru kuruga omu kitongole ekyo ekya NEMA oba bariyo nibaganiraho n'abatura aba barigayo okubuzibwa kati n'omuhamiro kanana katano okugira ngo bashobore hariho abanyayuganda abahiguru hamwe n'abanyayuganda abahansi munonga okugira ngo abandi batunga orusa orw'okwombeka omu bishara abandi bakirushaba barubima bari kugira ngo bombeka omu bishara kuri aba kuruga mu kitongole kya NEMA barigayo n'okuhumuriza abantu bo mu Rubiji bari kubagira ngo tari omuntu wena orukwikirizibwa okuza omu nyanja hamwe n'ebyoma ebyo okugira ngo bakanyurayo omushenyi gwoguza ngo ekyo nikyenda amateeka nkano mu mateeka ga Uganda tiine kirikwikirizibwa mwe n'abantu abo baguma babareba bagume babahababire bije babakwate bashobore ekibaresere
okusima omusenyu mu nyanja ne dredgers katugere kwezo mu mateeka ga Uganda tekikkirizibwa. Era buli muntu yenna gw'olaba drenja bwe njogera ku byuma ebigera mu nnyanja ne binuunayo bulungi tekikkirizibwa. Era tewaliwo omuntu agenda kujja na pamiti agikulage nti ayina ebyuma bamuwa pamiti okunuuna omusenyu mu nnyanja. Naye ate okusima omusenyu ku lubalama lw'ennyanja mu lutobazi, it's one of the regulated activities. Era bw'ayita mu mitendera akkirizibwa kubanga mulangiro ire ebikusibwa bingi naye tebijja kuggwayo olwaleero. Ndowooza mwawulirako ku bintu by'okusazaamu ebyapa.
Ab'ekitongole eki ekyanema bagumizamu n'okusobora aha byapa ebaye mbagamba kusazamu abatuura ab'omu Rubigi hamwe n'abatuura ab'omu disitulikiti ya Wakiso okutwaliza hamwe.
Abantu abasinga bwe bawulira okusazaamu ebyapa bamanyi nti n'ebyapa byonna ebiri mu ntobazi birina okusazibwamu. Naye kabineti bwe yatuula mu 2014 ng'eyise mu processes nnyingi yasalawo okusazaamu ebyapa ebyakolebwa mu ntobazi eziri ku ttaka lye tuyita public land. Discussion oba okubaganya ebirowoozo yaliwo ku byapa ebiri ku private mine nga bwe tukitwala. Nekizuulibwa nti singa osaza ebyapa ebiri ku private mine, gavumenti eba eyolekedde embeera eterinnyanga, abantu bagenda gitwala mu kkooti.
Abatuura aba barigenda okuhaburwa ngu obuvunaanyizibwa obu barijeyo kandi babasigira kandi babaheereza kugira ngu buri muntu weena aharaze kugura ninga aharaze kugurira ekyapa aharaze kuhandikisa ngu abe hatariho kisharra kyona ngu akube kibarebere omu Rubigi nikibamara.
Obuvunaanyizibwa bubooleke nti mugenda kutandika okuhanolinga ensonga zino. Bwe mugenda okulambula mufube nnyo okwetegereza we mugenze waliwo olutobazi oba tewali. Era kati fayiro nnyingi nnyo emizi ezizza naye tugamba ensonga eno mugitunulemu mulabe oba buno si butobazi. Kati nga mu area land committee mugenda okubeera amaaso gaffe naddala ku nsonga ya public land n'entobazi eziriko. Bwe tuba twogera ebigambo ebimu tubyogeddwa nga mpuliramu n'obuvunaanyizibwa obuseeserwa okuva ku public land, naye muyinza okubanya nga temulinayo buvunaanyizibwa.
Abatuura aba barigenda okubagambira kugira ngu omu kitongole eki ekyanema baza kugira ebintu bashiisha ninga bashenyuraho nibabiina amateeka agu barikukuratira kuruga omu gavumenti hamwe n'omu constitution ey'ihanga lya Uganda.
Kyenjagala mutegeera abooluganda, mu gavumenti tubaamu amateeka ge tugoberera mu kulungamya enkulaakulana. Waliwo olw'ojja okulaba enkulaakulana ng'ekyamazima eri mu lutobazi, kubanga amateeka gaffe tegagamba nti entobazi si zakukozesebwa. Tebalitaddewo mu Luzungu bagamba avenues oba windows mwe tuyitira kukozesa ntobazi. Ogwo bwe tutandika guba musomo ku bwangu ate ng'essaawa zino si gwe tugenda okugendamu. Ekisinga obukulu be bantu baffe wansi eyo okuyita mu mitendera bw'oba olina kyoyagala okukolera mu lutobazi. Bw'osituka obusitusi wano n'ogenda oba kuse kigambo okwewanwani.
Ahabwa Gntv Agarikwotsya ndi Clinton n'ab'omujomba.
Mnonga Clinton agonogota batwenira mu abazyogo ntaka gahendire kangarike nkwijusye byabiriyo mu meto yitu Agarikwotsya.
Omu Agarikwotsya erizoba abantu barikurenga 135 batura mu Uganda omuhenda biragiro bagarirwa mu nsuzo wabo.
The first thing is, last weekend we carried out operations on illegal foreigners in the country around the areas of Kabalagala, Kansanga, Muyenga, Gaba, and in Kampala. And among that, 135 suspects were apprehended.
ebyo kusensharinga ba commissioner abarire sente zikwingana biliyoni 1 na miliyoni 5 bibasa kurara bitahindera kurungi abo kubura emikono
amakubo gonna agagenda otuusa mu kutwala motion omanyi abamawulire ekintu kankyogere bwenti nze katugeze nina omukazi agamba namufunisa olubuto nze negaana remedy eriruddawa mu mateeka baba mubaloya ansi erimu tuge tukebera omukazi oba olubuto alukola ki aluyina oba taluyina nze ndejerere nze neganye omukazi agamba aluyina oba ntegereka
Ministry y'enshonga zo muihanga erya Uganda erigere asakwa neshomesa abantu ahabyendanga muntu hamwe nebyo kufuna passport na za work permit.
Did carried out a sensitization. Of course, in light of the mass enrollment of and mass renewal of national IDs by NIRA, we had to sensitize people. Who is a citizen of Uganda, for instance? And we all know that there have been some complaints here and there, especially by certain communities, alleging that they get problems when they seek for services of passports at the
Agarikwotsya.
Webale mnonga kutogeza Agarikwotsya nokonjera kumanyisa ngotaka ferwa program ya evening special niera bene kurataho linde kigambo kya mukama hanga EVAS AKANKWASA mukama mulungi abankomere.